Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Stephen and John from the Sword Fighting School. Today we're going to talk about the two-handed sword. Sometimes this sword is known as a Spadone in Italy. Sometimes it's referred to as a Zweihänder from Germany. Sometimes it's called a montante from Portugal. You'll also hear it sometimes referred to as a Claymore or Claymore from Scotland. We're going to call this a Spadone. The Spadone was a weapon that was good on the battlefield, but it was also a very useful weapon for self-defense, or not for self-defense, for bodyguards. This would be used in Italy to clear out the piazza when you're protecting a banker or someone like that. What we're going to talk about today is how to swing the sword. But not everybody has a sword this big that they can swing. So we're going to also do it with a staff. So you can actually see how the staff is going to give you the ability to train with the sword. Because if you'll notice, if you'll put it down, they're pretty close to the same size. So we can actually get good training with this. Because these are such large weapons, we're going to do one and then the other. And then we'll actually swap. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with it on our shoulder. So it's going to be here. And the reason I like to start here is this thing gets heavy. So from here, we're going to pull our lead elbow back, throw it out with a step forward, cross over, spin around, thrust, drop it behind our head, cut back down and to the side. That's the first part. So again, we'll start here, cut, roll it around, thrust, take it over your left side, step forward to cut. So now you have your right foot forward and your sword is on your left side. Your right side. So now you have your right foot forward and your sword is on your right side. One more time. You want to do this with me?
Sure.
Start with your left foot forward. Pull your right elbow and the pommel down to throw out your cut. Go to the ground. Push your pommel towards the side you just cut at so your sword is behind you. Move that way just a little bit because you're right behind me. There we go. Turn around. Stab. Bring it around your left side. Step forward so you end up in this position. Now we have our right foot forward and the sword's on the right side. Let's go ahead and do that again. So we'll just start here because we're just carrying the sword. 1, 2, 3. Once we hit this position, we're going to stop it, kind of. But the way we're going to stop it is as I come through, I'm going to hit it on my leg and use that to bring it around. So I lead with my false edge. Turn around, so now it's on my left shoulder. Drop the point down. So it comes across the body. I'm going to step behind me. So I'm doing a tuta volta with my foot, volta stable, to clear behind me. So again, I'm here, and from here, I'm going to bring it around, turn, drop it down, tuta volta, volta stable.
I'm going to just say that was one of the most terrifying positions to be standing in front of.
So if I start here, no, I start here. Here in this position, I just hit this and then bring it around. And that's what I'm getting at my opponent. And it really will clear the space because if I'm in this position and I've just swung it and Joe Thug back here is coming to attack my back, I hit this, I hear him coming, so I bring it around, cover that, spin around. Nope, cover that. I hit here. Everything out of the way. And you'll notice every time I take the sword around my body, I'm keeping it in tight. I want to do that so that I provide my defense with it as well. So from here, I use that. And there's that cover. So I've hit, boom. He's coming at me. And that clears it off. Now, the nice thing about doing this is, let's start again. So you're standing in front of me. Go ahead and put the stick down. You're actually going to be my primary.
Okay.
So I'm following you. Or actually, you're standing right behind me because I'm walking through to clear. As I'm walking through, I see the piazza starting to get a little busy. Okay. The bad guys come in. As soon as I throw this out, he's going to step in and grab my shirt, tuck his head down into my back. He's going to rotate with me. From there, rotate around, bring it around. Now he's going to move with me because I can push him out of the way, and that keeps him behind me the whole time, so I can protect my primary. As a defense tool, if my primary stays with me, this, because of the way I move it, doesn't hit him. Just like in modern defense for somebody who's important. If he's the person that I'm protecting and there's a threat, I'm going to pull him down and I'm going to walk with him like this. But you'll notice how he's behind me so I can protect him the whole time. So now I've got my firearm. It's really no different with the sword than it would be today with a modern bodyguard. So let's go through and do that again, shall we? But this time I'm going to give you the sword.
Okay. I've been upgraded.
I'm going to face this way.
Okay.
So we're just standing around like this. If we see the threat coming in, pull it forward, rotate it around, bring it over, step, and now we want to have our right foot forward. So,
what about the turn and thrust?
Oh, yeah, I forgot the turn and thrust, didn't I? Let's do that again.
Say, there, with that action, I will have left foot forward.
So, we're here. Boom. No, I did it. There it is. Boom. Then from here, we use our leg to spin it around, bring it over, step behind, spin around, end up in this position again.
That's how it worked. Okay.
So let's do that again.
From the top?
From the top. So we're just starting here, walking along. 1, turn, stab. Bring it around. Cut from your left to your right. Bring it around. So it comes over your left shoulder. Now from here, as you bring it around, step forward. Bring it back down to cover that. Step behind you. Spin, cut from your left to your right again. And you have your right foot forward again. So
I screwed up somewhere in
you
that.
lost your footwork. Let's do it again. So we're standing. 1, right foot forward, spin around, rotate. So now your left foot is forward with a thrust and a step forward. Bring it around your back, turn around. So now your left foot is forward, cut down from your left side with a step with your right foot. Use your body to spin this around. Step forward for a cut. Comes down to your right side. Step behind your left foot with your right foot. Spin around. Cut. There we go.
I overstepped of that. I added an extra step. That's why I ended with left foot forward.
You'll notice that when we're doing this, it's not just swinging the sword around. So there are two things that you do with your sword. And it could be any sword, whether it's a Spadone, whether it's a stick, whether it's a hand and a half, a one-handed sword, doesn't matter. A baseball bat or a walking cane. Sometimes you move your weapon around you. Sometimes you move your body around your weapon. And that's what we did here. So watch this. Just watch for a moment. I start here, I'm just walking along. Here's this action. With this, I've got my point in front of me. I bring it around behind, so now I'm in the equivalent of tail guard. But as soon as I rotate around my body, that puts me into an extended long guard that I can step forward with. So there's an example of moving my body around the sword. And every time I do this, I am not only offending my opponent, I'm defending myself. So let's take a look at what's happening here. You're going to be multiple opponents, okay?
Cool beans. Energize.
So let's move back this way a little bit. There we go. So I see him coming at me. And I see him coming at me. He's probably not going to even want to step into that.
Yep.
So I'm going to come here, but I stay there, bring it around, because his buddy is coming at me from here. Oh, then I stick that through his chest. So as soon as I do that, I pull it out, bring it around. He's hitting me. No, you'll probably be, yeah, that's right.
Yep.
So I'm there. He continues, go ahead, continue, boom. That just takes him out of the way to this position. That's why I end up with my right foot forward here. Then he sees us coming. Right? As I take that aside, I've got to worry about his friend behind me, because honestly, go back there,
Yep.
do that again. I'm here. He comes at me. I do that. What are you most likely going to do?
Get the heck out of the way, because you look like you're about to cleave me in half.
Right.
So I'm moving this way, because that's where you just knocked me.
Right. So his buddy's coming up behind me because he can. Here, let me move forward. As I come forward, right, there's that. That covers me. Boom. And I can hit him with that. So we're looking at how moving your body around your sword allows you to not only protect yourself, it gives you the opportunity to do that while you are attacking the people that are around you. And let's face it, this isn't the movies. If you've got a big stick like this or a big sword like that coming at your face, you don't want to be in front of it. Being in front of that is a scary, scary place to be. Now, in a lot of manuscripts from the 16th century, they have solo drills for these swords. And these solo drills are designed to give you cuts and footwork that allow you to do this and practice by yourself. And that's what I wanted to give you here. This is not a solo drill from a manuscript. I want to point that out right now. This is the way I teach people to move at DEMAS. We want to have that flexibility of moving our sword around our body as well as our body around our sword. If we're doing this with a one-handed sword, go ahead and move around a little bit. And now he's ended up doing a lot of fighting and a lot of movement with his body facing and moving in different directions as he's swinging his sword. Now, let's go back to that position. If he's here and he just turns to face that direction, that direction, he's able to continue his action. Now, go back to having your sword right in the middle, in the front, down. If his sword is down and he turns all the way around, so do it with a tuta volta.
Mhm.
He's right back where he was just a moment ago, but his sword never moved. And that's an important thing to remember. I can do this with any tool, whether it's a one-handed, two-handed, or hand-and-a-half weapon. With that, we're going to close up. I want to thank you for joining us today. When you are practicing these drills with your sword or your staff, make sure that you are incorporating the footwork and not just swinging your sword around. Direct it. Punch, my hip goes into it. The same thing happens. Blow here, I turned and then brought it back. So if I'm facing you, move back to a little bit so I don't hit you, and I swing across, it really brings it around fast.
That's
Would you agree?
very fast, yeah. You guys can't hear it, but you can hear him cleaving through the air, just the whistle.
Let me do that one more time. I'm going to do it with my body, then I'm going to do it with my arms.
Cool.
So we can see the difference. So I bring it here, and I get that. But if I do it with my arms, I'm going to try to do it fast too, but well, there's a lot less movement, and it's a lot more jerky in my shoulders. My shoulders constantly going up and down. And in a fight, remember that distance equals time. Any movement that you do up, you have to come back down. And that's a little bit extra time added to everything you do. So with that, we're going to close up. But is there anything you want to add?
Gosh, I had something. Just remember, if you can do something with one tool, you should be able to take those pieces and just work with anything you've got. Like you mentioned there, if you have a baseball bat, you've got this right here, or a longsword. A staff can become a two-handed sword, or what it is.
Good. There is always going to be slight differences in the weapon. One of the things I like to do with people is teach them how to listen to the tool, because it will tell you how it wants to move and what it wants to do. Our goal, whenever we pick up a new tool, is to learn to listen to it, and it will tell us. But in the long run, ultimately, it doesn't matter what the tool is. This is my weapon. If I have sharpened my weapon, I can use any tool. Keep your weapons sharp, everyone. And with that, we'll close up. Thank you for joining us today. Take care, stay safe, and we'll see you in class. Take care, everyone. Boom.
Laters.